Good morning, or it's not morning at all. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a lovely day today. So this video is not going to be the most interesting to everyone. I did have a good, really exciting video planned for this week, but it's been delayed by a couple of days, so it's going to eat into next week. And I could put no video out, but I sort of feel like showing you guys my tools, and so I thought I'd do a little workshop slash shed tour. Of course, when I get my van, all of this will be going in there. The exciting video will definitely be next week because I'm getting said thing on the day this video goes out. So exciting stuff. So if you follow my Instagram, make sure you go. Links in the description. I will post probably on Tuesday about said thing. It's really exciting. Any guesses in the comments will be well, I'll tell you if you're right. You won't win anything. You'll just win the feeling of winning, basically. So yeah, also make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell, and make sure you like the video to stay tuned for that video, which, as I say, is going to be next Monday, and it's going to be very exciting. And it's not the van, by the way, in case you'll all guess that. That's probably the week after video, maybe the week after that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to see a few the week this video comes out. Okay, so on to the tour. Now, this is a rickety old shed we got for the neighbour that he ripped out of someone else's garden about 6 years ago now. It's been here, so it's well and truly seated in. The bit you're in is a shed extension. I have done a tour of this shed when it was immaculate, when I used to be in there all the time. And it would be if I was in there all the time, but I'm just not in here all the time anymore, and I know I'm not going to, because I'm going to get the van. So yeah, but when it was then, everything was immaculate. I swept it daily. It's clean at the moment, very clean. But yeah, I'll show you this bit that you're in at the moment. So excuse all the graffiti, but this was the studio slash my dad's office that he works from home, and then this is the, like, it was the toilet shed, because we have a composting toilet which is now moved, slash tool shed, which is now it's a tool shed slash workshop. But there was this gap in the middle with a couple of slabs, so me and my friend built a temporary structure and then upgraded it, and this door also opens, so it's like a whole walk-in area there. And then if you come in here, there is a fridge to start with. We have LED strips up here which illuminate from a switch above the door back there as well, and then here is my store of just lengths of short bit of wood. The lengths of long bit of wood are down the side of the studio in a new lean-to I made, which I went over in one of my van build episodes. And then there's just random stuff down there, and some more random stuff down there. This is leftover flooring from vans, leftover flooring from vans again, and more leftover flooring. A thing that Emma gave me, it's breathable membrane. Okay. Breathable membrane from her van, and a few other bits of cement board and stuff like that. Entering the main area of the shed though, which I took the door off and remounted it there, so now this has no door, is some of my dad's tools, because it's not necessarily my shed, although I do call it my shed because a lot of the stuff is. And then here we have lots of tools again, if any of you are interested. This is quite a cool little set. My neighbour recommended, well, he just had it and I was like, I'm getting one of them. It's just great for mechanics and vehicles. Got all sorts of Torx bits, hex bits, can't remember what these are called, like almost star bits, not sure, in long and short, and with a 3/8 and 1/2 inch socket adapter. And then the thing below is a homemade box I made for my chisels. Let's put a light on, shall we? Down here are the big heavy duty hydraulic crimpers, my standard just toolbox, including hammers that hasn't yet made its way in, some other chisels and planes and all that sort of stuff. Then I got some paint, some white spirit, got my chop saw up here, very useful piece of kit, 2 chargers, lots of extension leads daisy chained off each other, an actual extension lead, more like multi-ways they are. And then here I just got my Stanley Salt Masters. These are really useful, stacked together. You can just get in. This has all sorts of bits. This has screws, this has nuts and bolts, and this has bits and bobs. Here are some clamps. Here's my brand new rail for my track saw. It's really exciting. These are really good tape measure, recommended by Jeff from Always Van Adventure. It's only metric and it's double-sided. So it's amazing, because if you're trying to measure something that way, the inches are on that side. So then you have to try and trace the line. I haven't done that with that tape measure, obviously, because it's got metric centimeters all the way around. Yeah, and then just saws and guns and all that sort of stuff. It's just a general shed, but we'll get into these toolboxes when I put you back on the tripod. So I can already see this is quite a boring video for most of you, and I do apologize. It's just, as I said, I would have rather put a video out that I sort of want to make this video, and I'd be interested and someone else did, but I can understand not everyone will be. Yeah, but I just wanted to put a video out rather than put no video out. Let me come back down here. So I bought lots of T-stack boxes because they are very convenient. Let's just get that one out of the way, and this one as well. So this is not a T-stack. This I was given to, and it just housed random stuff in this shed. And then I went into Wickes one day and I was looking for something with wheels for all the stuff that's in here, and I came across this. I was like, I got one of them, but this one's a bit cracked. I was like, I wonder how much it is. It was like 60 quid or 50 quid. So I was like, okay. So it's got a bit of wood in the bottom because the crack's just on the bottom, and it's missing this little side lid here. Let me point you down. Yeah, it's missing this little side lid here. So what I got is there's some MIDI fuse holders and a spare diesel heater temperature sensor. This box is just random van bits left over from previous builds, given to me, things I've accumulated for the next builds, just general stuff really, and a staple gun because I don't know where else to put it. Here I've got sort of plumbing stuff, pipe inserts, Jubilee clips, plumbing tap, pipe cutter, got a tile cutter, got more Jubilee clips, actual Jubilee branded Jubilee clips, mortise switches, hinges and catches and handles, things to do with doors in there. Yeah, just got all the sort of stuff in there, small bits. And then here I've got all sorts of pipe, spare inverters, random spare pumps, reversing cameras in here, spare bits of waste pipe, anything left over from a van that is going to come handy. Oh, there's a bag of diesel heater bits that are always going to come handy in future builds. So yeah, this is a really useful little box. Just, it's one of those things where if someone goes, oh, you got one of these? I go, oh yeah. Or you don't have something and you go, damn, it didn't come with this. You go, oh, I might have one. And you go into your box of things. I do believe in what Ash says about just keeping everything. And he does literally keep everything. He has got so much stuff. He's almost got like a whole shop in his house in Sweden. He just like keeps everything. I can't go to that extent because I do want everything to fit in my van, but I can keep like a box of stuff that is just going to come in handy. But yeah, minimal throwing things away because you never know when you might need it. I got just a T-stack with my drill and impact driver. Pretty boring. We'll go for this one. So on two of the T-stack boxes, so these T-stack boxes don't just house my DeWalt tools, and on two of them I stuck some little casters that I had lying around and a bit of wood. And the reason for this is my cable left over from van builds as well. If I just move this over to here, it'll be in shot better. So this way, because they are very heavy, and if you want one of these with wheels, again, it's like 80 quid, and these are like 25-30 quid you can get them for. So I was like, I'm not paying 80 quid, I've got some casters, I'll shove them on the bottom. So I did. And this just has electrical connections in the top, 12 volt, and what short lengths of cable that would get lost in the main bit of the box. And then here we have single core cable on the left, and then multi-core cable on the right, and then some bits of conduit. As you might be able to tell, I am quite an organised person. I like to know where everything is. With minimal efforts of finding it. Sometimes that doesn't go to plan. So that's part of my electrical stack. This is the other part, which is a new box, and this has replaced my Stanley, I don't know what it's called, it's like a 26-inch toolbox, but it's got like an organiser section on the top. So what I did is I bought another one of these sort masters here, which is acting like the top organiser and has electrical tapes, solders, crimpers and wire cutters and strippers, bits of glue sticks, some extra connectors, switches, Velcro, all sorts of stuff. And then here there's LED strips, mini electrical screwdrivers, glue gun, heat gun, soldering iron. So this is like the electrical tools box. So this I can stack on top of this, and then I can put my impact driver with it, because impact drivers are just always useful. And then I can take that, roll that on a job because it's on wheels, wheel that somewhere. I took it next door before and did some work on a caravan next door, need some electrical work doing, and I didn't have to carry like 50 kilos of tools. I just wheeled it. And this one, again, snug fit, but slides in. This one, if you watch my van build episodes, I'm pretty sure in more than one episode, multiple times they said, I hate all the organizer boxes. You know, your spade connectors and all your blue, yellow and red connectors in one box, and then you've got another box with lugs in, and then you've got another box with hole saws, and you've got another box with, you get the idea. Lots of boxes, and if you want one they all fall over. So this is what this is for. So I've just bought ferrule connectors as well, and a ferrule tool because everyone recommends them. Then I got my hole saws, I've got fuses, MIDI, mega, blade fuses, P-clips, router bits, the regular crimping bits, lugs, heat shrink, some more electrical bits, drill bits, you know, all the bits and bobs. And I've got my jigs in there for pocket hole and the concealed hinges. Shall we move on to the other wheeled box? This one is the heaviest of them all and probably the most used of them all. Oh, dearie me. This box here contains all my woodworking tools and a grinder. So I've got sander, jigsaw, nail gun, electric plane, and then the grinder at the bottom. Oh, and the router with 3 batteries in there as well, because I also invested in a couple more batteries so everything can have a battery, bar one thing, whatever that might be. And this one is the most exciting of them all. This is the latest tool. I have wanted this since I first ever saw it, and especially first ever used it. My neighbour's got one on my mum's van 4 years ago now, maybe nearly 4 years ago. Yeah, well, you already know what it is because I showed you the track up there. It's a track saw, 54 volt DeWalt track saw. The reason I got the 54 volt was because I used my neighbour's 18 volt and I just didn't like it. He's got the regular circular saw, 18 volt, and I use that and it gets bogged down quite easily. The motor slows down and sometimes it just sort of eats through batteries and they get very hot. But if you wanted to add the track saw base onto the 18 volt one, it worked out £10 cheaper than this one with the track saw base. So I was like, well, that's a no-brainer. Only thing is I had to buy a £60 battery along with it. So technically it was £70 more, but I think £70 more considering I got this on 2 discounts overall, including the rail, the battery and the saw and the case. I got it for £335, going to be brutally clear with you guys. And these generally, you're looking around about 500, 450 quid to get all the bits. But that's with a DeWalt battery as well. So I'm pretty happy that I got it really cheap, and it's a beast. You cut anything to it, the motor doesn't slow down at all, unless you're like really forcing it, which you shouldn't be, or it's over a really long length and maybe it's sort of you hit a knot or something, you know, that might slow the motor down a bit. But yeah, cutting bits of ply and stuff, not a problem for this thing. And obviously it's really easy. Two marks, slap the rail down and you just cut. So I am well chuffed with this. I've used it briefly on a couple of small things, but I can't wait to use it on cutting lengths of ply in a van build for the kitchen or something, because I'm fed up of using a jigsaw to cut meters of straight lines that are never straight, no matter how experienced you are. I'm sure some people do it straighter than me. It's still bloody hard, and for the time, it's definitely worth my money to spend on one of these. This is the other one with the wheels on, the one with all the woodworking stuff in. So I can have a woodworking stack and an electrical stack of T-stack boxes. Obviously I haven't just bought all these tools out of nowhere. They've come up slowly. When I sold my last van, I invested in the jigsaw, the sander, things like that, and a couple of batteries. The chop saw, very kindly got given to me, along with the electric plane, along with the impact driver. I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, well, my next investment, I've got all my major tools. My next investment is to invest in proper DeWalt batteries, because currently I've only bought third-party ones because they're about half the price. I found a good brand called Whately, watched a few reviews, and they are pretty good. Obviously they don't stack up exactly to DeWalt, they're a bit performance less. That doesn't really make sense. They have a bit less performance overall, and probably durability wise they won't hold up as well. So I will eventually definitely get some DeWalt ones, but for now it powers the tools, everything works, and yeah, so I'm very happy. If you did like this video and are ever interested in seeing tools again, drop a comment down below. I'm sure you'll all see them again though, because I want to build a massive tool drawer in my van that is accessible from the outside, and probably inside would be a good idea. And with a workbench and all that sort of stuff, it's all going to be attached to the van. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. These tools are going to weigh a lot. If you want to see things like the metal toolbox, this is a good little toolbox, and anything else, then as I say, drop them in the comments below. But I really hope you like this. For those that did watch, I know not many people are going to watch it, but make sure you, as I say, subscribe and stay tuned for next week's video, because it's going to be really exciting. And I've got a few things to do with it, a few little projects with the thing I'm going to collect on Monday. So I hope you like the video. Make sure you drop the video a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.